5 seconds to go. Start. Under these conditions, growth in size beyond a point becomes a particularly serious handicap. Stop. Not only are there few economies of scale to be gained by such expansion, but diseconomies set in through their greater vulnerability to pressures from outside and from within. Stop. This has become a major problem for many Indian universities. Stop. The growing tendencies towards regionalism in the country have also had serious effects on higher education. Stop. These tendencies are generally expressed in demands relating to the medium of instruction. Stop. Some of these demands are based on sound educational principles and are wholly justifiable, but in their most extreme form, they usually indicate either ignorance of the minimum requirements of higher education or inward looking conduct of a kind that places considerations of a selfish character above these requirements. Stop. In practice, both have been in evidence. Stop. More specifically, the problem arises when instruction at the postgraduate level is sought to be given in the regional languages. Stop. For most of the relevant literature at that level is usually not available. Stop. Paragraph. Sir, I rise to support the demands that have been placed before the House by the Home Minister. Stop. Sir, I need not remind the House that this year the Home Ministry's demands are being discussed in a context which can be described as almost unexampled. Stop. It is for the first time that we are discussing the demands of this ministry after the country passed through the period of the emergency that rocked the very basic structure of our constitution and our policy and made the common people of our country realize what they have lost with the eclipse of their fundamental rights and freedom. Stop. Paragraph. Sir, the 19 months of rule marked the culmination of a concerted effort to undermine democracy. Stop. Those who wanted to destroy the democracy and convert our system into a totalitarian system had looked upon the Home Ministry as the main instrument for forcing their will on the nation. Stop. They wanted to substitute the rule of law with the reign of terror to place individuals above the law, to provide immunity to those whom the group liked and to harass all those who were looked upon as dangerous to the monopoly of power that the extra constitutional caucus wanted to preserve. Stop. The then House Minister was himself a captive of this caucus. Stop. It was practically a totalitarian regime and was, therefore, bound to be a police regime. Stop. That is why, I would request the Home Minister that the whole police department should be thoroughly overhauled. Stop. Paragraph. Sir, I do not want to take the time of the House by listing the various agencies and organizations that were set up in the police department and the home department during emergency and before that. I also do not want to take the time of the House in describing the fabulous amounts of money that had been placed at the disposal of Roe and other agencies. Stop. Even the money was placed at the disposal of certain individuals and that was exempted from the scrutiny of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India or the Parliament. Stop. I do not want to go into all these details, but I would only request the Home Minister to go into these things and ensure that such things do not happen in future. Stop. Under the circumstances, sir, the task of the Home Minister is, therefore, one of dismantling the police state that was built up by the previous government. Stop. Paragraph. Sir, the budget has been variously described and criticized, as one that increases the burden of the common man, one which gives concessions to the rich and encourages foreign investments. Stop. I agree, sir, that it is all this and much more. Stop. But it certainly is not a highwayman's budget. Stop. To my mind, sir, the budget is sincere, conscientious, and at the same time, it is a bold effort on the part of the finance minister who is charged with heavy responsibility of finding resources for the third 5-year plan. Stop. This plan, to my mind, sir, is not at all ambitious, in view of our needs. Stop. It may be looked upon as a rather heavy demand, but looking to our needs, it is not very ambitious. Stop. Sir, the fact that even the considerations of the coming general elections could not deflect the finance minister from the course which seemed to him necessary and proper, should earn him the appreciation of every right thinking man. Stop. The common man's interest, as I said, is nearer to our hearts than perhaps some others can claim, or at least it is equally nearer to us, and yet there come times in a nation's history when it becomes necessary for the people to postpone the fruits of their labor and enterprise to secure the future. Stop. Here also, sir, opinions may differ. Stop. According to the Communist Party, such a time came during the last Great War when they were exhorting people, the common people, to contribute their full might to the war effort. Stop. According to us, however, sir, we are passing through such a time at the present moment, and I have no doubt that the common people appreciate this position and will willingly tighten their belts, contribute their full might, and will surely return the Congress to power, having full confidence in the future, and looking to a future where their posterity will be assured of a far better social and economic order. Stop. Who, sir, does not sympathize with the difficulties of the common man? Sign of interrogation. As a matter of fact, most of us come from that class, and I am sure the finance minister would have liked to do away with some of the levies. Stop. None would have been happier if he could have done without these new levies, but there are, sir, certain very imperative limitations. Stop. We are passing through a critical period. Stop. Dear friends, a word was used in the dictation. I think that is wrongly pronounced. The actual word is caucus. 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 Thank you.